From Crayola to Copic, I'm going to be testing 16 skin tone packs for artists. Let's get into it. As usual, I have an amazing chart here made up so that we can compare all of our different art supplies and track our results. I've got 3 charts. Our first is alcohol markers, next up is colored pencils, and finally other various markers and art supplies. We of course have the brand of our item, how much the pack itself costs, how many items per a pack you get, how much each piece costs individually. Do you have to buy the light and dark skin tones separately, or do they come together? And then of course we are going to swatch all of our skin tones. And after I swatch each piece, I'm going to do a little doodle including some of the skin tones and just kind of see what you can make out of them. And when I say a doodle, I do mean a quick doodle. Starting off with the most popular item, alcohol markers. And because I want to start off with our cheapest item, working our way to the most expensive in each category, we are going to start off with OhHooHoo. In total, this pack is going to cost you $30.80. Now this is in US dollars, just for your information. There are 24 pieces in the pack, and it comes to about $1.28 per marker. 1 skin tone pack. Okay, so it's not perfect, but this looks like a decent gradient from a yellowy to a pinky to an orangey to a brown, and that's what I'm gonna go with, so we'll see what that looks like. Well, okay, so I just opened the first one and it is so green. I mean, it is called green, but I'm terrified, but let's just jump into these and start swatching. So there's no question that OhHooHoo really covers a lot of different skin tones, and I love that. Love the inclusivity. Okay, so now that our swatching is officially done, I thought it would be fun to do a couple of doodles, only using the skin tones and some black markers. So let's see if I can avoid nudity or, I don't know, get creative with the colors we have. Here are our 2 different skin toned characters using the OhHooHoo markers. I really enjoy the different tones you can get. It's a very yellow, but I think it's really fun to have this many skin tones, and I really felt like I wasn't held back by any shades or blushes. Overall, I think this is a solid skin tone pack. Moving on to our next alcohol marker brand, we have the Winsor & Newton brush markers. In total, both packs of these markers came to $32 US together. Together you do get 12 markers, but again, if you do want just the light pack or just the dark pack, it is 6 colors, which brings us to $2.67 per marker. And again, it is 2 packs of markers if you do want to get both the dark and light skin tones. Yes, these are both almond, so if you get the dark and the light skin pack, you're gonna have 1 overlapping color that I can tell so far. Alright, so let's go ahead and start swatching. We do have a difference in packs, so I do want to keep them separated just so that you can see which pack comes with which markers. So right away, I couldn't help but notice the dark skin tone pack is half light skin tones. I know it's important to build upon your colors when using markers, but those are some pale colors. And our light skin pack is very light, so I think it's going to be difficult to build upon some of the shadows when it comes to the light skin tone. Probably could have used some more variety, but there it is. Either way, here is our 12 different skin tones. Let's make a quick doodle. And here are our 2 armless girls from the Winsor & Newton Pro markers. Again, not as much variety, obviously, as the OhHooHoo markers, so definitely something that you might want to consider when looking for skin tones. Don't know why they're armless, but there they are. Our next alcohol marker skin tone pack is going to be from Spectrum Noir. Together, these two sets of markers are $33.70. In total, there are 12 markers, bringing them to about $2.80 per marker. And again, you do have to buy 2 different packs if you do want to get the full range of skin tones. Okay, let's start swatching. I definitely think I like the variety and brightness in the colors on the Spectrum Noir compared to the Winsor & Newton. These just seem a little bit more dull, and these just seem to have more variety in color and just more colorful. But let's see if we can get a cute doodle with these. Something that Spectrum Noir mentioned on their packaging is that their markers are really good for layering because their ink is a little bit more transparent, and to be honest, they are really good at layering. Look how much of a different tone you can get by just putting a second layer down. It looks incredibly different, and it seems especially useful when working with skin tones. So this one ended up turning out really silly. We've got our strong man and our little boy looking at him in aspiration, and I just have to compare the brightness or just the vibrancy of the 2 different colors. I definitely like this one for a more cartoony style. This one just seems a little bit more dull, this being the Winsor & Newton and this one the Spectrum Noir, so just something to consider when picking out skin tone marker packs. Next up is the Chameleon Color Tones double-ended alcohol markers, or I guess they call themselves pens. This pack of 5 markers will run you at $20.70. You get 5 markers, which brings you to a whopping $4.14 per marker, and it just comes in 1 pack. So really quick, I am going to go ahead and just swatch the colors as is, and then we will get to testing out some of the blending. So what makes these markers the second most expensive marker on here, even though you only get 5 different colors? Well, let me show you. This marker, if you can't tell, is very long, and it comes with something called a diluting chamber. So if you take your marker apart, like so, and you put the colored marker part into the diluting chamber where the tips just touch, turn it upside down so that gravity does the work, leave it for a few seconds, and now you have this tip that is bleeding into the other tip. Take our darkest marker and then put them together to where we are now transferring the lightest color into the darkest marker. Leave that for a few seconds. Now this is my first time doing it, so if this doesn't turn out well, definitely my fault. I will admit to that. Ooh, look at that. So it started off kind of rough, and it might just be because I needed to break the marker in, but look at that. Amazing gradient from our nude to our burnt umber. That is crazy. So this is just a few examples of combinations you can create using these 5 markers. It's really unique, it's fun, it's interesting. But let's see what sort of doodle we can create using this gradient marker. So I'm not someone who likes to really render and do gradient shades on their art. I don't know. I feel like this might be good if you like to do that sort of thing, but I don't have a lot of experience, so I'm not sure. It's interesting and fun to play around with gradients, but I don't think it's for me. And obviously the range of tones is pretty lacking even with that gradient. Moving on to our most expensive and most popular brand, we have Copic markers. At $33.90, this is the most expensive pack of markers. You only get 6 markers, and they are going to run you a whopping $5.65 a marker. You only need one pack. Let's swatch our range of Copic skin tones. And for funsies, let's just go ahead and see if we can create a nice smooth gradient between the 5 skin tones and see what we can come up with. Finishing up our alcohol marker category, we have this silly little gnome boy. I think he turned out really nice. I think Copic markers are really unique in the sense that they are very soft when it comes to color and tone, and just, I really like the way this little guy turned out. I think he's silly. I love the blending of the colors, and I really like him. And with that, let's move on to our colored pencil category. As usual, starting off with our cheapest brand and our most known brand, we have Crayola. This pack of colored pencils will run you $1.80, quite a bargain. With this pack, you do get 8 different colored pencils, and that will cost you a whopping 23 cents per pencil. They do only offer one pack of pencils, so all of the skin tones you see here are what you're going to get. Thank you, Mr. Kitty. And with that, let's start swatching these. Okay, I'm going to stop goofing on Crayola and get to doodling. Here is our pale baby using Crayola colored pencils. Next up is actually the product that sparked the idea for this video, Handmade Modern. And to be honest, the packaging is actually what caught my eye. This pack comes to $5.30. In this pack, you do get a total of 12 colors, and that ends up running you a total of 44 cents per colored pencil. And this is the only pack you get, so one pack for all of the skin tones. With that being said, let's go ahead and swatch these colored pencils. I will say there is quite a variety here as far as like obviously black and white goes. We do have like a pinkish color, some yellows, and then darker browns. It seems like this set focuses on tanned colors or darker colors. Let's get into doodling something. So obviously I took inspiration from the packaging of these colored pencils. I had so much fun creating these faces. There were so many colors to make skin, hair, makeup, lips. This was so much fun. I seriously enjoyed these colored pencils. Next up is a brand I've only seen on Amazon, so I'm not really sure about their availability. This is Black Widow brand colored pencils. If you want both skin tone packs, this will run you $25.60. Together with both packs, you do get 24 colored pencils, running you at $1.06 per pencil. Like I mentioned, this is 2 packs, so you do have a light and a dark skin tone. And let's just take a look really quick. The dark tones, they look like some dark colors. We have our light grays, purples, and dark browns, but can we just take a peek at these light tones? I mean, these are some neon pink and purple colors. I'm curious to see what these look like, so let's get to swatching. Like I had thought, the dark skin tones seem pretty legit, but the light skin tone, wow, it's just a bunch of pinks and oranges and just obnoxious colors that I wouldn't think are skin tones, but who knows? They might be fun to play around with. So let's get to doodling. So I don't know if it's just because the light skin tones were so bad, or maybe the quality of these colored pencils are just not the greatest, but I didn't enjoy working with these at all. I felt like the shading, even for the dark tones, were really weird and awkward. I had more fun with Crayola and Handmade Modern as opposed to this. There are so many colors. There are 24 colors here. And I just don't like the way the colored pencils feel. So overall, don't like these. I mean, can we be honest? The colors between these light tones that are on the packaging and these definitely don't match up. But we're gonna move on. Next up, we have the Prismacolor brand colored pencils. And is this weird to say? They smell like colored pencils. This pack will run you $26.50 with a total of 24 colored pencils that cost $1.10 a piece. And thankfully this comes as one pack of colored pencils. Alright, let's get to sketching some characters with our swatched colored pencils. So here is our Prismacolor skin tone doodle. I actually really enjoyed the skin tones and the quality of these pencils, so I liked it. There you go. And for the last brand in our colored pencil category, we have Derwent at $8.70 per a skin tone pack. Only get 6 pencils, which comes to about $1.45 per pencil. So in this pack, you do get a variety of skin tones. Even though it's only 6 pencils, it's just one pack. Alright, so now that we have our colors swatched, let's doodle something using these tones. So that is it for the Derwent colored pencils, and I actually quite enjoyed these colors. I enjoyed the way the pencils worked, and I had a lot of fun creating these portraits. Okay, let's move on to our miscellaneous category. Starting off with construction paper. I know it's kind of odd. I saw this pack while I was shopping for skin tone things. I thought, heck, why not? Let's do it. So this pack of giant pieces of construction paper will cost you $7. And in this pack, you do get 50 pieces of construction paper, but there are not 50 different skin tones. That will run you about 14 cents per piece of paper. Is that a deal? I have no idea. I haven't bought construction paper in many, many years. And you also just need one pack to get all of the skin tones. So let's go ahead and get our swatches. I guess I'm just going to cut out the pieces and put them on there. We'll do some little squares. These last two browns here are just a little too similar for me. I do see that they were going for like a more reddish tone compared to this one, but it's just too similar. You can see that this one is clearly a little more yellow and this one's a little bit more of a pinky pale tan color. But these two are just so similar, you almost can't even tell them apart. So that's kind of lame, but I can see what they were going for. Let's do some cute little cutout drawings. Are they drawings? I don't know. They're crafty things. We're gonna have fun with this really quick. I think it'll be fun. Let's get into it. Okay, so I may have gotten a little carried away with our cutout people, but I had so much fun with these. They are just so shapely, so expressive, so adorable and unique and different than I'm having trouble picking them up. I mean, look at these guys. They're so much fun. They're like dancing together. This was a lot of fun. I kind of got the construction skin tone as a joke, but to be honest, probably the most fun so far. Next up, we have the Crayola Multicultural Crayons at $4.90. In total, you get 8 crayons at 61 cents per crayon. And in one pack, you get all of your skin tones. Okay, let's swatch. Okay, I'll be honest, I'm impressed with this gradient test. All right. Okay, let's test out and do a little doodle. Okay, I forgot how cute and adorable and fun crayons can be. Look at this. It was really messy, it's sloppy, but it has a certain charm to it, and I absolutely had a lot of fun with these. Now, this isn't a crayon review, so as far as skin tones go, I actually really like these. It's playful and colorful, and they include a vast variety. The one thing I do wish is that they had like a pink or a red so that you could add blush to the skin, but other than that, loved these. Let's move on. Next up in the miscellaneous category, we have another Crayola product. It's the classic washable Crayola markers. The pack of multicultural Crayola markers is going to run you $8 US. You do get 8 markers in the pack, which obviously takes you at exactly $1 per marker. And it is just one pack. These colors look really nice and kind of pastel-y, so I'm pretty excited to swatch them. So I have to say, I'm just a little bit disappointed at the lack of variety in the colors. They look a lot different, but the caps don't match at all. This is so much lighter than the actual result. Same with this one, very similar. And then again, especially the cap is so much lighter than the actual color. So these 3 browns here are almost exactly the same, which is kind of disappointing. But, I mean, for a kid's art supply, I'm sure it does the job. Also, in what world is this pink color beige? And then especially if you're going to call this golden beige, this is definitely like a pink blush and a straight up brown, but that's okay, Crayola. Probably the worst attempt of a gradient ever. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just go ahead and get to sketching something with these markers. Here is our finished character for the Crayola marker set. I just felt like the skin tones were more targeted towards a tan body, so I went with just a single darker character. I really appreciated the pink color because I was able to add some really soft rosy cheeks, which I really enjoyed, and also use the pink and red color for some clothes for once. Honestly, I feel like these simple Crayola products are really fun and nice for my style, so I'm really enjoying them. Next up, we have the Tombow dual brush water-based pens. This portrait palette will run you $23.10. In total, you do get 10 markers, or I guess pens, which comes to about $2.31 per a pen. And this comes in one skin pack. That being said, let's go ahead and start swatching these. So I really do like the variety in this skin tone pack, though I do have to note our last color is black, and then our second to last pen is going to be a colorless blender. So really, I guess there should only be 9 in this pack. They do blend okay together alone. I do feel like they kind of do tear up the paper a bit, so I will have to be careful with that. Oh wow, the paper is getting destroyed. So let's get to doodling. So here is another silly set of faces done, this time with the Tombow pens, and I had a lot of fun with these, and it just makes me realize how differently of a style with each of these mediums I've been working with, but at the same time having so much fun with it. So there you go. Next up is the art supply I have been most looking forward to trying. It's the Watercolor Confections Art Philosophy. When looking for skin tone packs when doing this video, there wasn't, well, actually I think this was the only watercolor set that I could find, and I think the reason for that is because watercolors, probably the best way to use watercolors is to mix your own colors. That's why watercolors mostly come in small sets, because it's good to get into a habit of mixing your own watercolors, both so that you know how to mix colors and also because, to be honest, you're probably going to end up mixing your own colors even if you have a huge set. This set costs $28.20. You get 12 colors in this set, which brings you to about $2.35 per a half pan of watercolor. And you get one set, so all the skin tones you need are here. Wow, okay, they were not kidding around when they said highly pigmented. These are some pigmented colors, and I do like the variety of colors, but like I mentioned, I can't help but look at these watercolors and think, okay, what can I create by mixing these two colors together? It's just really unusual to look at watercolors and be like, okay, I'm going to use them straight out of the pan. But I'm going to try to do just that so that we can use these as they are. So let's get to doodling. So here is our final watercolor illustration with our three characters. I had really fun splattering some watercolors. I did end up mixing some of the colors together because they just weren't exactly what I was looking for. Let's move on to our final skin tone pack. Paska pens are acrylic paint markers, and I bought this set when I originally bought Paska pens for the first time. This set will run you $29.40. This is an 8-pack of pens, and that totals at around $3.68 per a pen. And you get one set of skin tones. We have some really dark browns, some intense reds, absolute yellows. Paska pens are really fun to just exaggerate with. So here we go. Let's get into our final doodle of this video. Okay, so I promise this isn't the best I can do with Paska pens, but it's still really fun to see the exaggeration of shading and colors with Paska pens. So there's that. So overall, I don't think there's one art supply I can really recommend for skin tones. I think it really just boils down to your preference for art supply and what kind of style you're going for. I had a lot of fun with this one, so thank you so much for watching. Stay golden. But before I go, a huge shout out to all of my patrons for all of their support. You guys are seriously amazing. If you want secret sketches, early access to my videos, and more, check out the link to my Patreon in the description. Thank you guys seriously so much for the support. Bye!